Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up our file for Assignment 7, which is the silhouette assignment. First thing that I want you to do is make sure that you download the images from the assignment page. Here I have the images downloaded, and typically they'll download as a zip file. On some computers, you might have the settings set up for this zip file to automatically extract. If not, on a Mac, you could just simply double click on it and it will extract the contents. On a Windows machine, you might need to right mouse click on it and tell it to extract here. But within this file here, what I want to point out is that these are the 4 images that are supplied, though you only need to use 3. We have this Donald GIF, Goofy, Mickey Mouse, and Pluto. So I'm just going to use the top 3. So first what I want to do, I'm going to go into my Illustrator application and I want to create a new document. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is the Illustrator home over here on the far left hand side. I'm going to create new, and I already have different presets here, but you could always go under print. You can view all the presets, you can see all the different options. I'm going to go ahead and select letter, but I'm going to change the unit of measure over here on the right from points to inches. And this could either be in portrait or landscape. I'm just changing it to landscape so that my artboard fits better within my screen. And this actually, for our intended purposes for this assignment, doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and tell it to create. So here I have my window, and what I like to do, I have all these different windows open. You could always go to up here into the top right hand corner to change your layout. I like to use the Essentials Classic, and you can always reset the Essential Classics just to make sure that all your interface windows are the same as mine. So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and save my file initially. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to tell it to Save As. And it's going to ask me for a location. You might need to click on a Mac this little window, this little button right here to expand. But I want to save a location. I'm not going to save these to the cloud. I'm going to save these onto my computer. So I already have a folder right here where I want to place them, but I want to change the name. For this assignment, use your last name, first name, and then this is Assignment 7. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the format is AI, Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to tell it to save. In this Illustrator options, I'm going to use the default settings that are right here. This is Illustrator 2020 that I'm using. That's going to be fine. I'm going to tell it OK. And my file is now saved, so I could use my keyboard shortcut, either Command S or Control S on a PC. Now what we need to do, we need to bring in our 3 images. We're going to use the place command within Illustrator. I'm going to go to File, I'm going to select Place, and I want to navigate to my folder. Here I have my 4 images, but again, I do not need to, this assignment only requires you to do 3. So I'm going to use the top 3. So if you hold down Shift, if you click on the top one, hold down Shift, you could select sequentially, or what you could do, either hold down Command on a Mac or Control on a PC, and you could select a range of images. But I said I want these 3 images up on top. I want to make sure that link is not turned on because I actually want a copy of these files within your Illustrator document. So when I open up your file, the image is already there. I'm going to go ahead and tell it place, and now it wants me to place my 3 images. To remind you, you could always just click, but what I'm going to do instead, since I want them around the same size, I'm going to click and drag. What this does, it places our images within here. Let's see, Goofy's supposed to be a little bit taller, so we'll make his window a little bit taller, and then Mickey. If I want all these windows to fit, all these images to fit within my artboard, using my selection tool, V on your keyboard, I'm going to click and drag, make a marquee selection so that all of these are selected. And now I could scale these down. I have to press and hold down Shift so that I can lock the proportion so that they all fit within my artboard. Now, they don't necessarily need to fit in the artboard. I just like putting them on the artboard so that they're here. For example, you could always select them. I'm gonna zoom out by holding Command minus or Control minus. I'm gonna make these larger. They could be they could be large, but I want them to just fit within my artboard for this demo. I'm gonna zoom in by pressing Command or Control 0. What I want to do, I'm going to go into my layers. This is my layers panel here. For this layer, I'm going to call these my reference one too many E's, my reference images. And I'm going to go ahead and lock this layer. Now for this assignment, you're going to be using a combination of different drawing tools. You're going to be using a combination of either the pencil or the paintbrush tool. Paintbrush tool is right here. The pencil tool can be found right here. Also, you're also going to be using the blob brush tool. And finally, you're going to be using the pen tool. Now we've yet to cover those within this week's module videos. We go over using these tools. But for right now, we've set up this file. You might want to come back to this file after you've gone over the other videos that go over how to use those specific tools. But what I would suggest is for each silhouette that you're going to create, I want you to create a separate layer. So say for example, this one, maybe I'm going to label this one Donald, but it's also going to be using the pencil tool. I want you to label your layers accordingly. So this one is going to be Goofy, but this I'm going to use the blob brush. And then I'm going to create another layer. We're going to rename this one as Mickey, and this one I'm going to use the pen tool. I'm going to go ahead and save this file, either Control S or Command S, and I'll come back to this file. But at this point, this file has been set up. Once you've learned how to use the different tools, you'll be able to create your different shapes. As I mentioned in the videos that come afterwards, we're going to go over how to use those tools. We have yet to go over it at this point, but within this week's modules, you'll go over those tools and you'll be able to complete this assignment. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.